Hi, in this video, I will be showing you problem number 20 of chapter 10 section 4. Find the area of the region enclosed by one loop of the curve r equal to 8 times sine of 5 theta. So it's better to graph 8 times sine of 5 theta, the polar graph. As we normally do, we will do the Cartesian graph. The period of this sine function is 2 pi over the 5, the coefficient of theta. So within the period of 0 through 2 pi over 5, within that interval, you will have one cycle of the sine graph. I've shown in the diagram only one cycle, but actually can continue this cycle till you get 2 pi. So that will complete the entire graph. So I have given you the sample of one cycle of the sine graph, but keep in mind it gets continued. Also, you notice that r will become 0 at 0, r will become 0 at pi by 5, r will become 0 at 2 pi by 5. So in other words, at every multiple of pi by 5, r will become 0. We can also do this by setting r value to 0 and solving for theta. So when you set r equal to 0, you get 8 times sine of 5 theta equal to 0. In other words, sine 5 theta equal to 0, which means that 5 theta is a multiple of pi, or theta is a multiple of pi over 5. So when n equal to 0, theta equal to 0. When n equal to 1, theta equal to pi by 5. So at all multiples of pi by 5, r becomes 0. So r in the polar graph, you notice that at every pi by 5, r will become 0. Alright, so also in the Cartesian graph, you notice that at pi by 10, it reaches the maximum value 8. 3 pi by 10, it reaches negative 8 and so on. So at pi by 10, so it's one loop. When it creates one loop, it is actually from 0 through pi by 5. But at pi by 10, it reaches the highest value, which is 8, which is what's shown in the polar graph. Now we are going to get area of one loop, which is a equal to half integral 0 through pi by 5, which is one loop, and then half r square d theta, where r is given by 8 times sine of 5 theta. So it is half integral 0 through pi by 5 r square, which is 8 square sine square 5 theta d theta. So that is 64 over 2, which will be 32, integral 0 through pi by 5 sine square 5 theta d theta. Anytime you have a sine square or cosine square as the integrand, then you have to use the double angle formula. That is 32. Then we can write integral 0 through pi by 5 sine square as 1 minus cosine of double of 5 theta, which is 10 theta divided by 2 d theta. So 32 over 2, that will be a 16. Then you integrate, which is theta minus sine of 10 theta over 10 between the limits 0 and pi by 5. So it is 16 times pi by 5 minus 10 times pi by 5. Sine of 10 times pi by 5 would be sine of 2 pi, that will be a 0. At the lower limit, everything will be a 0. So it is just 16 times pi by 5. So 16 pi over 5 being area, we can write that as unit square. So keep in mind, we are asked to find only the area of one loop of this sine graph, 8 times sine 5 theta graph. The area of one loop is 16 pi over 5 unit square. Hope this video helps.